Hello and welcome to Amethyst Star Crafting. My name is Jane Ormark and I'm a UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. And today I thought that we would do a fun little Easter project, and we're going to be using the Sweet Strawberry and the little flowers on here. Now these flowers are two-step stamping, so you stamp the outline and then you stamp the little fill-in piece in whatever colour you want. I've chosen Daffodil Delight and Bumblebee, and I've also stamped them on some Daffodil Delight cardstock as well. So it comes with the punch. The punch will punch out the lovely little flowers, and that's what we're using to decorate our little Easter bonnet we're going to make. So to make the Easter bonnet, you need to have two pieces of cardstock which are 2 inches in width, so 2 inches like that. And you need a piece of designer series paper as well, which is 2 inches, and you can choose whatever you want. I've chosen a piece of the celebration paper, which is no longer with us, but I just happen to think that those two colours went nicely together. So we need to cut them down. First of all, we're going to cut down the cardstock piece, so you can choose whatever colours you want. So as I say, it's 2 inches and it's going to be cut down to 9 1/4 inches. So let me just make sure I'm in on here. 9 1/4 inches for the first piece. So we'll just cut that down, and then we need to save this little piece because we're going to use it later on. And then on the designer series paper, you're going to cut that down to 9 1/2 inches. So we have the designer series paper, which is 2 inches by 9 1/2 inches, and the base is 9 1/4 inches by 2 inches. So let's start on the base. I'm bringing my scoreboard in so we can see that on there like that. So with the base on the long side, we're going to take our scoreboard, our scoring tool, and we're going to score it at 1 1/4 inches. We're going to score it at 2 3/4 inch, 4 1/4 inch, 5 3/4 inch, 7 1/4 inch, and 8 3/4 inch. Then we're going to turn it round and we're going to score it straight down the middle at 1 inch. So right the way around at 1 inch. Okay, so that is your cardstock base. The designer series paper, again on the long side, and I need my fatter tool for this one, we are going to score it at 1 1/2 inches, 3 inches, 4 1/2 inches, 6 inches, 7 1/2 inches, 'Oh, I've cut this too short. It needs to come at 9 inches, doesn't it? Oh, hold on. We've got a piece that I've cut it too short. Let me just get I've cut it at 8 1/2 instead of 9 1/2. So let me grab myself another piece. Hopefully I've got enough to do it at 2 inches. Let me just cut myself another piece and then we'll measure it out completely. So 2 inches down like this on here. Okay, so let's do that again. And it has to be cut at 9.5 inches. I think I cut it at 8.5. So let's go 9.5. 9.5. Down like that. That's better. There we go. Thought it seemed a bit of a big piece, but never mind. Right, now we should have the right piece. So we're going to do that again. So take it on to the side we want, and we are going to score it. Let's do it again at 1.5 inches, 3 inches, 4.5 inches, 6 inches, 7.5 inches, and 9 inches. There we go. And again, we're going to turn it round and do it right down the middle at 1 inch. Okay, and that's all the scoring that we need to do. So easily rectified. I'll just put my scoring tool back, and then that's out of the way. Okay, fine. So now what we need to do is to take our bone folder, and we are going to, on all of these pieces, this is quite difficult to actually see, but we are going to burnish them. So burnish along all of those lines. Then we're going to do it on all of the pieces all the way down. So make sure that you've got, as I say, nice burnish. You can't see this paper very well actually, because it's so patterned on the other side that it's not easy to see, but I'm doing it because you can feel it. Even though you know that it's scored, you can feel where it's going to go, and just make sure that you've burnished it well all the way down. And if you hang on to the end of the video, you will see I have decorated another one as well. Now we can see this one quite well because it's the cardstock. So again, just make sure you've burnished it well, and then go down on all of these score lines and just burnish it. All the way down. It's easier to burnish it before you cut it, because then you don't have these tiny little pieces that make it difficult. Okay, so you've got some large pieces along here, and you've got a little tiny piece at the end. We need to cut that end piece off. So we're just going to cut that off like that. And then we are going to just cut up to that center score line on all of them. This is a very simple, easy little hexagonal box, but it'll make with a little lid, which means that it can be decorated quite prettily, and you've then got your center for your little Easter bonnet. Okay, so that's one piece. Let's do the other one as well. So this is the designer series paper, and again we need to do exactly the same thing. So we are going to cut it down in on the center like this, and if you want to have a larger or a smaller piece, you can extend this way as much as you want, but this is literally just going down on here like this. There we go. Okay, so we've now got those two pieces. Now what we're going to do is on this piece, this little end piece, which is like a little tab, we're going to use a little bit of wet glue and just put the wet glue on there and just line this piece up. So line it up with the end and just put it in so that it goes up to the edge like that. Okay, wet glue is quite good because it allows a little bit of wiggle room, and we can do exactly the same as this. So the little tab, a little bit of glue on it, take it up to the edge and then just put it down so that it lines up nicely with that edge on there. As I say, with the wet glue, it allows you to just have a little bit of wiggle room so you can get your edges nice and straight. Okay, so let's do the bottom first of all. Now, with any hexagonal box you're making, you need to have something to stabilize it, because otherwise it sort of wiggles about like this. Our little pots that we have with embellishments in are absolutely perfect. So if you just put this in over the top, and it'll fit quite snugly, you can then put your pieces in, and you need to take alternate ones. So alternate to there, and then alternate this one to this one, and you can see you only need to glue the tiny sort of edge pieces on this, because otherwise you'll have glue running all the way through. So I can put the glue in on that side, and then on this piece you can see that the glue is going to come on the other side. So we're going to take that and put the glue in on that side. Then we're going to take this piece, and this can have glue on either side but not in the center, because it won't meet up, but that doesn't matter because we are going to put a circle in over the top. So a little bit of glue on that side, then put it in, and then as it's in, just make sure that you've got it straightened up. And because this little pot is exactly the right size, it means that you're going to be all right like that. Now, with the piece that we've got over that we had cut off, we can use a circle punch, or we can use a die. Now I'm going to use a circle punch, and I'm going to use, if I can find where I've put it, here we go. I have got, and I don't know whether you can still get this size, but this is a 1 3/4 inch. You can make it slightly smaller, you can make it slightly bigger. All you want to do is to cover up, get that out like that so it's in the center. All I want to do is to make sure that it covers up this bit here. It's not going to show because it's on the bottom, and inside you can put sort of whatever you want, but we're just going to put that in like that, and you can rub it down and get it to stick quite easily because you've got your little pot underneath. Okay, so that's the base of it. Then we can take this out like that, and we've got our little hexagonal base, and we're going to do exactly the same with the top. So again, just put it in. Now this is slightly bigger, but it will still work all right. And then we're going to take the two opposites again and put those down, and then we're going to take the next two opposites. So on this one we need to put some glue just on this edge like that, and put that one down, and this one is going to go there, so I need a little bit of glue on this edge like that, and put that one down, and then a little bit of glue on. And you can see this pot is a little bit bigger, so it means that we need to do a little bit of wiggling to get it down. So I can put that one on there, and you see I'm not pressing down firmly until I've just lined it up in place. So get it in like this, and then with your fingers make sure that you've got it straight, so you can see that your hexagonal piece is coming quite nice and straight. And then again, with the piece that we've got left over, take your punch or a die, whatever you've got, and just take the little piece out, and then that can go in on the center like that. And again, just sort of wriggle it round so that you know that it's coming nice and straight, and you've got your hexagonal part in where you want it. And take this out and turn it round this way. And on the inside piece, you can put another circle if you want to. You know, really, it's up to you. And then this is going to, will fit quite nicely in over the top. And it'll go right the way down if you want it to, or you can just have it so that it's just a little bit up. Okay, so let's do it just like that. I only want it to go on a little bit. Okay, so that's our little hexagonal box done, which, as I say, is very easy. Now, to stop this going all the way down, because I don't want it to go all the way down, excuse me, I'm going to put some ribbon round it. So let me just get some, I think I should probably use my lacy ribbon, because I really quite like the lacy ribbon, and I think that that will work quite well. So I'm just going to put a little bit of lacy ribbon round on here, and then this will stop the box from coming down, closing too much on there. You could put a little bit of heavier ribbon, whatever you want. Okay, so we've now got our little box, and we now need to do the base of it so that we then have our little this is the top of our, you know, the top of the hat. So what I've done, and this is retired, but I'm going to give you the measurements so that if you've got a circle the same size, we used to have circle collection framelits. It's 130911, quite a while ago, but as I say, I saved them, and I've used the two largest. Now, size wise on this, it is oh, I can measure it down on here, can't I? Okay, so it is it's a 5 1/4 inch circle, and the smaller one is a 4 1/2 inch circle. Okay, now if you don't have any circles that size, you can always use a small plate. So you can draw around a small plate, but I have, so I've taken these two, and I've taken the largest one in the Daffodil Delight and the smallest one, or the smaller one, in the patterned paper. And then this is going to go on top like that, which will give us our little Easter hat. Now, I would, and what I'm going to do afterwards is cut another one to give it a little bit of extra stability, but it'll work fine as it is just for this. Now, this one, I didn't want to make it too flowery. I wanted to keep it fairly sort of neutral. It's one of those things that you can add as many flowers and things as you want, but this one is not quite as flowery, and you just need to put this down in on the center, and that gives us that piece. Now we're going to put this in on the center of here, and I'm going to take the glue and put this all the way across the bottom of our box. So right up to the edges, make sure we've got lots of glue in there, lots of glue in on the top. And then that's going to go down in on the center, or as near to the center as we can. And we're just going to press that down. And I think we're about right. I can't look into the camera. Yes, that'll do. Doesn't matter if it's absolutely perfect. As you know, with me, I do, you know, I'll have things that are reasonably, make sure I've got that in where it should be. There we go. Okay, so you've now got the basis of your structure of your little Easter bonnet. And then it's down to decorating it. So, as I said, we're using the Sweet Strawberry, and as I said, I've cut lots and lots and lots of little pieces out. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put these all over, and I'm just going to just sort of put them in like this, so you can just sort of get a bit of an idea. So I'm going to do all the way around the rim, and as I say, I put some up with dimensionals, some up with just with glue, building it up as you go along and just sort of decorating it all the way round like this. And I might even put some in at sort of little angles. Can't even see round on there, but just as I say, decorating it all the way around in the different ones. Some up on the top like this, so that looks quite pretty, and on there with dimensionals. And what I could do is, if I just tip it up, these are probably going to fall off, I might actually put some of these down on here all the way round, because again that will give a little bit of extra on there. Add your ribbon round on there, and you've got a really pretty, I'm going to have to bring it up at this angle because you can't see it, but you've got a really pretty Easter hat coming. And as I say, put all of your little flowers and things along here, and just build it up, you know, build it up with the layers, and you've got some beautiful ones. I will finish it off and do it, but I know that it's going to take a lot of time to put all of those pieces on, but that gives you an idea. So let me show you one that I did earlier on, because I'm making a few for Easter gifts, and this one I used with the Butterfly Brilliance. And as I say, I hope you can, let's try and get this down so you can see it a little bit easier on here. But if I pick it up that way, I've put all the way round the beautiful little butterflies in on there. So it sits like that. I've put a flower in on the top. I've put a ribbon round it. And as I say, if I take it up this way, you can see all of the, let's turn it around that way, you can see all of the butterflies. And the butterflies are actually at an angle like this. So I've got them so that they are not actually attached. If I can take it down on here, you can see that these are not attached. And what I did was I took a little strip of cardstock, and this cardstock is what, half an inch, so half an inch, and it was an inch, so I cut it to an inch, folded it in half like this, and then put the butterfly on that side, and then put this side, stuck that side down. So if I can show you, let me just take the lid off of this one because it might be easier. I filled it with little Easter chocolates. I'm just going to take those out so I can try and show you. You can see on here, can you see I've taken just that little, like a little hinge. And what it means is that the butterflies will be actually standing up, so that you have that really nice sort of look to it. So as I say, fill it with little Easter eggs and things. You can fit quite a few little bits in. If you want a little piece of jewellery or something, you can put that in. And then, as I say, little lid goes on. Can't do that standing up, So the little lid goes on, and you can see having the ribbon, it just allows the lid to come up a little bit. So you can see how sort of pretty that one has turned out, and makes a beautiful little sort of Easter hat. And this one again is going to be exactly the same, and is going to have those lovely sort of Easter florally colours on. And as I say, a pretty idea. Fill it with, as I say, whatever you want Easter wise, and you've got some pretty little bonnets. So I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for watching. As always, please stay safe, and please be well, and please be kind. Bye-bye.